Alrighty, so at this point you should have done evaluating expressions in math, but if you either missed it or if you still needed some reminders on how it really works, I'll go through that in this video. Now, if you feel really comfortable with it, you can go ahead and just keep working and then check your answers with the video. So you can either like pause and fast forward if you want to just check your answers, or you can just work through it with the video. Just make sure you're showing all of your work, please. I need to see all of the steps. So step 1, substitute the value for the variable. Do not forget to put parentheses around the substituted value. Okay, then we're going to use PEMDAS to simplify the expression. Okay, so basically the only thing that's different that we're doing is substituting in a number for a letter. Number 1, 3a plus 4 where a equals -7. So I'm just plugging in that -7 where I see my a. So instead of the a, I should have parentheses. Okay? So 3 times, well, we're plugging in -7 for a plus 4. Again, when something is written like this, like 3a, that means we're multiplying. It's really important to remember. So we're multiplying 3 times a or 3 times a like that. So if I go ahead and simplify this using order of operations, I'm doing 3 times -7, which is -21, plus 4, -21 plus 4. That should give me, go ahead and do that in your calculator. We should get -17. Okay. For number 2, x squared minus 6y when x equals -2 and y equals 10. So again, I'm plugging in that -2 in for my x value and 10 for y. So I've got, instead of my x, I'm going to put parentheses and I'm going to plug in -2 squared minus 6 times y. Well, y is 10. Now you know how to do this. You solve using order of operations. So I'm going to do my exponents first. -2 squared is -2 times -2. That will give me +4. Bring down my negative, my subtract sign, and my 6 times 10. Next step, I'll do my multiplication. So I'm going to bring down 4 minus. I'm not doing anything with that, but 6 times 10 is 60. Last step, 4 minus 60 is -56. Okay, if you need to pause it and stop it and rewind or anything like that, you certainly can do that. All right, number 3 says 4n divided by 3 minus p. So 4 times n, so 4 times n, we'll plug in 7. All divided by 3 minus, well, p is -1. Okay, so now we'll use order of operations to simplify. 4 times 7, that's 28. And 3 minus -1. Remember, when we have 2 negatives, subtracting a negative, it actually turns into a positive. So it's actually 3 plus 1, which is 4. 28 divided by 4 would give me 7. Okay, looking at number 4, x divided by -2 plus 3y. So x is 18, so I'm plugging in 18 for x. Plus 3 times y is 4. Okay, I would invite you to pause the video at this point so that you're actually trying to solve it on your own. So if you want to pause it, you can, and then I'll keep working through the problems. And once you're done, you can press play. So 18 divided by -2 gives me -9, plus 3 times 4 would give me 12. Straight across, -9 plus 12 simplifies to 3. Alrighty, number 5, 7 minus the square root of x plus 2y divided by 3 minus 4. So we're getting a little more complex as we go on. So I'm copying down the problem as I see it. 7 minus square root, I'm plugging in that 81 for x, plus 2, not 26. Sometimes people put the 6 here and they think, oh, I'm just going to make it a 26. I'm multiplying 2 times 6 all over 3 minus 4. Okay, so the first thing I want to tackle is that square root. The square root of 81 would give me 9. Okay, Next thing, I'm not going to subtract yet. I'm going to simplify this fraction over here. So on the numerator, I have 2 times 6. Well, 2 times 6 is 12. So my numerator simplifies to 12. My denominator, 3 minus 4, I'd get negative 1. Next step, 7 minus 9 plus, well, 12 divided by negative 1 is negative 12. Okay, and then you can go from left to right because it's all addition and subtraction. So 7 minus 9 is negative 2 minus 12. I would get negative 14. Okay, then we've got one left before we do our 2 formula substitution problems. So we have negative 6 times k, which is negative 5, making sure I plug in that negative, plus 9 times negative 2. Negative 6 times negative 5 is a positive 30, plus 9 times negative 2. So again, we're not going to add yet, we got to multiply. So bring down my 30 plus 9 times negative 2 is negative 18. And then it's just your integer problem, 30 plus negative 18. That's the same thing as 30 minus 18. So when I simplify that, I should get 12. All right, and lastly, we're finishing up with our formula questions. So these are really straightforward. We're just plugging in numbers into our formula, just like we did last year when we did perimeter and area and surface. You didn't do surface area. Perimeter, area, circumference. So number 7 says the formula to find volume of a cylinder is volume equals pi r squared h. Then it says find the volume of a cylinder, so we're looking for V, with the radius of 6, so my radius would be r, would be 6, and a height of 4. And then very important, it says use 3.14 for pi. We're not using the pi button for rounding purposes, so just 3.14. So let's go ahead and plug those numbers in. We know that pi, we're substituting in 3.14. R is equal to 6, so we're plugging in 6 squared. And h is equal to 4. Before you enter all of this in your calculator, I would do your square. So 6 squared would be 36, just so you don't end up squaring the entire product. Okay, now they're all right next to each other, 3.14, 36, and 4. If they're all right next to each other without any operations listed, you are multiplying them. So go ahead in your calculator and multiply 3.14 times 36 times 4. When you do all that out, you should get 452.16, and their units huge because it's volume. They don't give us if it's inches or anything, so just units is fine. Okay, if you're confused on that one, just raise your hand and I'll come over. Number 8, the formula to find the volume of a rectangular prism is volume equals length times width times height. Again, all those letters are right next to each other, so they're just multiplying. We want to find the volume of this rectangular prism. All right, so let's see. It doesn't matter in what order, so I'm just going to label 25 is my length, 20 is my height, and 4 is my width. Doesn't matter what order you multiply them in, because no matter what order we multiply in, the commutative property says I'll get the same product. All right, so let's plug in 25 for my length, 4 for my width, and 20 for my height. I'm going to multiply them all out, 25 times 4 times 20, and write my answer below. So you should get 2,000 centimeters. Yep, 2,000 centimeters cubed. Okay. So depending on where you are at, you might be finishing your work from last class or going on to the U-Try questions. Notice at the very bottom, if I can get there, there is an answer bank. So if your answer is not there, you need to make sure you either ask where you went wrong or try it again. Okay? Alrighty, get to it.